Welcome, everybody, to the Retiring Panel. I am getting warmed up here. My name is John, and I am 62 years old. I've got 5 years to go before I plan on retiring, and I am here working to establish a retirement club. This club will be similar to an investment club, except it'll be more designed for people who are looking to talk about investing, folks with the desire to learn about the different options that are ready and available for you as an investor. Things have changed over the years, and there are just way more options and better fits depending on what your goals are. So I'm going to start going through that. I'm going to wait until 7 o'clock, and then we're going to hop on in, and I'm going to start the general discussion. We've got a few more minutes to go, probably about 5 minutes, but I'm live now, and I'm just going to sit back and relax. So I've been on YouTube since April 22nd of 2024 is when I submitted my first video, and that was talking about myself and, basically what I do. I am an IT professional. I've been working on computers since 1982. I've held at least a half dozen jobs for 5 years or more, and I'm on one of my best stretches right now. I've been employed consistently since, for the last 10 years, and without any breaks in employment. So the income's been coming in very well. And I am looking to get myself together for retirement. It's not easy. It took a long time to really start seeing some of the growth in these investments I picked. But I've also seen a lot of new investments. We've got the ETFs, and we have the Roth IRA, the Roth 401k, and just so many different types. So I'm just going to sit tight for a minute, and at 7 o'clock, I'm going to start the presentation. And I'm going to run for about 15 minutes just to see if anybody picks up on this. I don't really see the reason for me to continue talking for a whole hour if nobody hops in, because I do believe these are recorded. And what I'm looking to do is I will save that until it starts, because these are going to be series that we are going to do. We're going to start with more of an introduction to investing, and then we're going to move on and look at each different type of investment and use some of my knowledge to see if we can answer some questions and help a few people make their decisions and build the confidence and everything. Okay. So we are about 2 minutes away. So I'm going to check myself out real quick, and then we'll be right back. We got about 1 more minute, and then we're going to just go and start having a little chat. Okay, and it is 7 o'clock right now. Welcome, everybody. My name is John, and I am your host of the Retiring Channel. And this channel is all about those of us who are working and planning our retirement. And what we're going to be talking about is different subjects related to retiring and different strategies and everything retiring. And so we're going to get started. Little introduction. My name is John. I'm 62 years old. I work as an IT professional. I've been servicing computers since January of 1982. I've been gainfully employed for all those years. And I have been investing in various 401ks. And now I'm doing the Roth 401k, Roth accounts. I've held brokerage accounts and things like that. I am not a certified financial planner. I'm not a licensed advisor, nor am I a trader. I am a do-it-yourself investor, and I'm just here to start a retiring club where we can all come and join in and help each other with questions and subject material. So this is the inaugural Retiring Club opening edition. And one of the things that helps when it comes to setting up financial goals, and we're going to just cover the broad range of financial goals, because we have to get to a certain point where the things that we need to take care of ourselves, we have and can sustain ourselves. For example, you want to have some type of career. Well, a career may require you to get some training. It may require you to go to college and get a degree, do some intern. Any way it goes, there's investment in your education. I studied electronics at the old school in Detroit, and it was called Retz Electronics School. So I went there and I had to finance that. And once I got out, I had some direct student loans. I made sure I made my payments. I didn't default. And then I got a job. After that, I wound up moving out on my own. So I had rent to pay. And then after a couple turns of events, I wound up back home with the parents. And then eventually, after mom passed and dad hadn't really been staying there, I wound up living in the house, taking care of the rent and everything. And my dad actually executed a reverse mortgage because the place was paid. He got a loan and gave me the coupon book and said, if you're going to stay here now, you're going to have to pay this mortgage. It's pretty smart. And it got me trained. And along the way, with these different companies, I've been investing in the 401k plans and everything. But what I want to talk to you about is primarily about setting goals. One of the biggest things about saving is where we normally start at. For example, if you want to keep $300-400 in the bank, and someone in the neighborhood is about to sell a car, or let's say that someone passes away and they're looking to get rid of stuff, and you say, hey, well, how about that car? Yeah, we want to get rid of that car. We want to get rid of it right now. And they just say, hey, you could take it for $400 as is. You got that $400, you get your car, you've opened up doors, because now you can work second jobs. You can go further out. And living in Detroit is where I'm from. The manufacturing jobs, they left Detroit. They went out in the suburbs, and they started having plants that make just-in-time delivery. You needed a car. So let's check that off. So we got us a car. Now you got a place to live. So you got a place to live, steady income. Now you want to start putting some money away. You want to set up a goal on what type of money you can afford to put away out of that paycheck that comes in either weekly, bi-weekly, or twice a month, or once a month. That's where you start at. But you also apply the money into savings where you can have it available for the things that you need. Number one. Number two, the time. If you have an extended period of time to start investing and letting it grow, you want to do that as soon as you can. If you at all can do it. When the time is getting short like me, you start making catch-up contributions. But over the years, they have raised the maximum amount for 401ks, IRAs. Um, it used to be at about $2,000. That's all you could take off if you put into an individual retirement account. I remember putting $2,000 in, and I would write it off on my taxes. I would send $100 in to Dean Witter every pay period. $100 would go in the IRA, which is pre-tax. The other one will go in to a taxable fund where if I took the money out, it would be a capital gains paid on it. And I set that up so that I could get started investing and use some of that extra money that I had. But I had to make sure all my bills were paid first. So the time that you start investing is going to make a big difference on how much you accumulate over a period of time. The goals that you have will help determine which investments, or do you just stick with savings for now? And it could be you start with the savings to get up to a certain amount where you can go and say, I want to invest this in the S&P 500, because some of the investment houses in the online services require a minimum. And you put that minimum in, then you can start making transfers. Or you could just keep it in your savings account and build it up, and then go with a taxable brokerage account where you can start saving money that way. And the last thing is, the biggest one is going to be the discipline / consistency. The discipline that you need is you got to make a commitment to yourself that you're going to save something. You can turn it up like a faucet, full blast. I'm at full blast. And I'm proud to say that I am in my third year of $1,000 a month, 401k, and the Roth contributions that I've been making, as well as my favorite bank, online bank, is VO Bank. We got $500 going in there every month. So I'm doing the best I can do, but it was not always like that. It used to be I could only do $125 pay period. That was $250. And then with some of the outside investments, I might have got up to $500. But the average amount over all those years was about $250 for a really, really, really long time. So just to recap, we want to set our goals. We want to set the amount. We want to get started as soon as we can. That's the time horizon. And then we want to have discipline and consistency. So those are the big three things that within this retiring club, as on our first session, that I would like to stress. So we have been running for about 8 minutes. I'm going to go to about a quarter after, just to make sure that we can establish a rapport where you'll be able to tune in if you like this material, and then we can see how it goes. So back in the early days, with me being from Detroit, I used to have to ride the bus to work. And if you can imagine using public transportation, you have to get up early. You have to hike up to the bus. You have to make sure you're there. Sometimes you're standing out in the weather. You don't want to get there right when the bus is coming, because if they can make the lights, and they may just zip by. The worst thing you can do is be like a quarter of a mile, or you know how like sprinting through a parking lot and all that bus goes flying by. Now you got to wait for the next one, and they're running 20, 25 minutes. I needed to get a car, and I was working at a computer store based out of Texas. And some of the coworkers came to me because they did offer a 401k or a retirement plan, and they did boost or offer a match. And everybody in the store, there were about 7 of us, they all came up to me one by one and said, you need to get into this. But, I was riding a bus. So my thought was, I don't need to put any money into something. And I basically told them, hey, you know what? I'll take this material home and look at it. And I studied it, and it was a 401k. put the money in. You cannot take it out without a 10% penalty, nor not have to pay any taxes on. You're always going to have to pay taxes on anything that's pre-tax. Your partner, Uncle Sam, he wants his hand out right there, and if you don't get it, he's gonna come get you, one way or another. So, you know, you put $1,000 into this 401k of my own money out of the check. Now a car comes up for sale. You need to get that cash real fast. Well, you take a 10% haircut, and then you got to pay the taxes. That particular offer I never took at all, period. The entire 3 years and 8 months, I never joined their program at all. So needed to get that transportation. And that's one thing when it comes to setting a goal. You set your goal and you use the method that's going to help you hit that goal. In this case, it was saving up cash. So I just bought the car, got it up and running. I had a vehicle. And then at that point, I wanted to keep $300 or $400 in my pocket. And one of the ladies who worked in corporate sales, she got another car. She says, hey, this car's up for sale. And says, well, I don't have the money to pay you right now. It's just like, I know where you work. Well, I'll give you what I got now, and then I'll pay the rest. And I think she wanted $600 for that car. So I think I gave her $300 and $150 over the next 2 pay periods. But anyway, I got myself another car, and that company went out of business. And I invested in some training in some networking software called Novell to allow all the computers in an office or business to connect, share printers and files and resources. So that was a real good investment for me. And then I got another job with a flat panel display manufacturer. They were making these liquid crystal displays that go in aircraft with the active matrix screens. They wanted that in these planes, and it was DARPA, Defense Advanced Research Projects. They helped invest. They wanted it in their aircraft so that when they turned into the sun, the screens wouldn't wash out. That was the plan. So we worked on that, and we got some stuff in F-16s. We had one large screen that went up in the Space Shuttle Columbia. And so I worked there, but that's when I got into the investment plan with 401k. And prior to that, I started investing with one of the sales reps at the computer store, because he went and got training at Dean Witter, asked me to come on in. And that's when I got my first IRA. And I got the individual retirement. I remember it was Pacific Growth Fund. It did 57% the previous year. Well, I didn't have that much luck. It just broke even for me. And I invested in Telcom. And that's when I started. I used to send a check in every month. One check will go to the IRA. Another check will go to the other account. So we are coming up on 7:15. Don't see anybody hopping in. So what I'm going to do is, since I did get an early start, I'm going to let it go for a couple more minutes. But this segment, we're talking about goals, we're talking about our time horizon, and we're talking about the discipline and the consistency of what you need to do. Even if you don't have a 401k or a pension or any plan by your employer, if you're out there gigging on your own, if you're out there, you got YouTube money coming in and you want to invest, you can open up a brokerage account and set up an individual retirement account. And in the next segment, that's what we're going to talk about, how you can start investing on your own. Just getting an account open, some of the requirements, and then a little bit later on, we'll start moving into one of the investments that most people like. So my name is John, and this is the Retiring Club. This is the inaugural session on a Go Live, and we've been running for 15 minutes. So I'll try and come back next week. If you guys watch this, it'll be out there as a recording. Go ahead and give me some likes and leave some comments, because I'm going to be developing material that can, as a series, would take and help somebody start investing from the ground up, from a do-it-yourself investor. And my name is John, and this is the Retiring Club. Thanks for watching.